Hi YouTubers, it's Evan X and House. We a video right now, so second video today, nice big ass video like a big ass cigar. I want to do an Uncut Ramble right now, so usual disclaimer, bad language, cursing, swearing, profanity, inappropriate language, off-color language, so don't watch if you're easily offended. Second off, this video is age restricted, so you can't watch it under 18, sorry about that. I want to discuss right now relationships, and more specifically, gross relationships. So obviously, whether you're heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, it's very common, actually extremely common, to have sex. Whether it's pussy sex, whether it's a anal sex, ass sex like the big ass cigar, any kind of sex, and obviously, it is a healthy part of relationships. So many studies, I'm not a doctor, not giving medical advice, but many studies show that having sex is not only important for reproduction, having children, it's also important to maintain a healthy and trusting relationship in a serious way. So not just a joking way, but a serious way. It's actually healthy to fuck. And it relieves stress, does a lot of positive things, but I want to talk about gross stuff. So I've kind of talked about this before on my channel, so obviously it's perfectly normal to put your wiener in your girl's pussy as long as it's consensual, as long as it's, she wants it, that's perfectly fine, that's perfectly healthy, and many studies show that, putting your wiener in a girl's pussy is actually very, very healthy, so it relieves stress, it's a very healthy part of a stable adult relationship. Obviously, both parties have to be over 16 or 18, whatever it is, in your legal jurisdiction, and it obviously has to be consensual, so it has to be legal, in other words, but it's fine for two men to put their dick in their ass, like the big ass cigar. But I want to talk about relationships that are kind of gross. It's like, pussy sex is fine, ass sex is fine, oral sex is fine, any kind of sex is pretty much fine. But when you start talking about, somebody pissing on somebody, it's like, that's really not achieving the goal of sex, because many studies show when a woman has sex, her stress is relieved because she is getting a good workout, quote unquote workout. But when you just piss on somebody, I mean, you're really not. It's just kind of gross. It's like, there's a difference between saying, okay, I'm going to have traditional sex, whether it's a man and a man and a man, a woman having sex, whether it's gay, bi, lesbian, whatever, versus saying, I'm going to walk up to my partner and smell their armpits after they haven't taken a shower for a week. I mean, that's just gross. It's like, it's fine if you have a certain fetish for things. It's like, that's your personal right. That's your human right to be attracted to absolutely anything within some reason. It has to be legal, quote unquote legal. And it has to be, it's like, it's your right to have a foot fetish, but your partner has to consent. If your partner says, listen, I don't want you smelling my feet, I don't want you smelling my pits, I don't want you smelling my belly button. It's like, big ass fucking belly button for life. It's like, you can't do it because sex has to be consensual. Absolutely 110% consensual. And if your partner says, listen, you may have a full-blown foot fetish, but I don't want you smelling my feet because I haven't, washed my feet or whatever, it's like, that you can't smell that person's feet. So, and besides that, it's like, what is your body going to, seriously, what is your body going to relieve in terms of stress? Because there's a lot of, because when a man does have sex with a woman traditionally, or a man has sex with a man traditionally, there is, release because it's involving muscles and tissue. But what are you going to relieve by smelling somebody's feet, or by, pissing on somebody or shitting on somebody? It's like, what are you going to actually get at? You see what I'm getting at. It's like, because traditional sex not only is it enjoyable, not only is it hot and sexy ass like the big ass cigar, it's relieving stress because it's involving tissue and muscle. But when you just take a dump on somebody, I mean, what is that going to accomplish? What is that going to do for your own personal spirit? And besides that, it's just gross. It's like, it's like, you may have a unique fetish. I mean, I can understand feet, I can understand this and that, but what's so hot about sticking your finger in your throat and puking on somebody. It's like, that's just gross. It's like, somebody might argue and say, well, a man, putting his dick in a woman's asshole, that's gross because that's strictly a homosexual or bisexual thing. But I can understand that. I'm just talking about things in general. They're just pure fucking gross. Pure fucking gross, nothing else. So that's the whole purpose of this ramble is sex is supposed to be about relieving stress and also reproduction and also just having a stable, trusting relationship and not just saying, well, I just want to puke on somebody. It's like, that's just gross. There's nothing besides that, just gross. So that's the whole purpose. Bye.